Good afternoon again. I'm Dakota Makris. An overnight fire in the Phelps community left a community shaken, destroying a home and killing one woman. Now, investigators with the Kentucky State Police say they received the call just after midnight, and when first responders got to the scene, the house was engulfed. Neighbors say 65-year-old Teresa Fields, who was found dead in the home, was a sweet, neighborly fixture in the community for more than 2 decades.
What goes through my mind is the last days of somebody, the last moment, and it's not a pleasant moment. And I knew the lady and knew her family, worked her daughter many years ago, knew her brother.
Now, we will have more about the fire and Fields' life coming up tonight at 6. Well, your car tax bill is likely going to be more this year. It's all because of the inventory of new cars being less, making older cars and used cars worth more. But there could be some relief in the form of at least 2 bills in the General Assembly. Our Phil Pendleton has more.
The 2 bills are a little bit different, but they're essentially going to do the same thing, expected to trim some of that 40% expected increase when you get that little card from your county clerk this year. Dealers have few, if any, new cars on their lots these days. Supply problems started that, but many like Paul Miller in Lexington have shifted to selling a lot of used cars. More used cars for sale means they're worth more. Something that's more expensive will carry a steeper tax bill. Representative Patrick Flannery says a combination of the supply issues along with how the Department of Revenue determines a higher rate is causing what could be sticker shock when people start receiving their tax bills this month. Flannery has filed House Bill 6 to help lower the rate.
Clarify that you have to use the average trade-in value, and it would allow for a refund, and there's a lot of discussion with other legislators.
Some people have chosen to go ahead and pay what is expected to be owed at their county clerk's office. But the Franklin County clerk told me that most people will wait to get that little card from him or from their county clerk, which are shipped out sometime around the 15th of this month. In Franklin County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
A similar bill has been filed in the Senate that uses an assessed valuation of vehicles from the preceding year.
And we're continuing to watch warm weather push into the mountains this afternoon. Well, warmer weather, milder weather after we started this week on the frigid side. We're back into the 50s this afternoon. I-75 at London showing some of those high clouds continuing to stream through the area. Those shadows getting longer as the sun gets lower on the horizon. We'll continue to watch some of those clouds actually give us, and you know what, I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I'm putting us on sunset watch for tonight because those high clouds in the west, as that sun sets, could put on a show later on. Keep an eye out to the west. Low 50s out there right now for just about everybody. A few upper 40s. Heartland's at 48. Middlesboro, as is Jonesville. Middlesboro's at 49. Wise, our cool spot, at 43. That's a good 10 to 15 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday. So we will continue to see the warmer air move through, at least through tonight. Milder air, I should say. I say warmer. You're thinking 70s, maybe not that, but anyway, it's going to be milder than we should be this time of year. A few clouds pushing through. We'll continue to see those move out and then another batch move in overnight. So, yep, you're going to definitely need that WYMT weather app. Maybe not for tonight, maybe closer to tomorrow with those showers moving in. And you definitely might need it for the weekend. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a few minutes with mid-30s tonight. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you. New Orleans police have arrested a man in connection to a dismembered body found inside of a bus freezer. Now, police took 34-year-old Benjamin Bill into custody after they say he refused to comply with their investigation. Now, Bill was in the home next to the parked bus. According to investigators, the body is a woman who went missing in November. Another neighbor had this to say about the discovery.
It's unfortunate. I'm really sorry for her family's loss, and that happened right next door is incredible. I can't believe it.
Now, police have not released the victim's name. Bill has been charged with obstruction of justice. Well, 3 young children survived an icy plunge near Denver, Colorado, thanks to the quick thinking of bystanders and first responders. First responders say a 6-year-old girl and 2 other children were playing outside when they fell in. Now, 23-year-old Dusty Talavera put her shoes on and sprang into action as she and another bystander pulled the children from the pond. First responders and emergency crews were quick to praise her actions.
Honestly, I would say it was just a perfect storm, to be honest. The fact that we had her witness these kids fall in there and her quick reaction to just quickly put on some shoes and run out there.
Back at the fire station talking about how brave she was, how great the officers did. And gosh, I hope if this happened to one of mine that somebody like her was close by.
Dusty also pulled a 4-year-old and 11-year-old out of the water. The 6-year-old was taken to a hospital for treatment. All 3 children are expected to be okay. The Biden administration is increasing federal support to schools during the Omicron surge with the plan to send out 10 million tests. Omicron's grip on the U.S. is driving case counts to record highs, and the CDC says the variant now accounts for almost all of them. CBS's Skylar Henry has more from the Capitol.
The CDC says the Omicron variant is now responsible for 98% of new COVID cases in the U.S.
The sudden and steep rise in cases due to Omicron is resulting in unprecedented daily case counts, sickness, absenteeism, and strains on our healthcare system.
The U.S. is averaging 751,000 cases a day. That's up 47% from last week. Nearly 20,000 daily hospitalizations and 1,600 deaths a day.
I suspect the deaths that we're seeing now are still from Delta.
The surge collides with cold and flu season, and many pharmacy shelves are bare. But there's reassuring news about Omicron, too.
If you're vaccinated and if you're boosted, the chances of you getting sick are very, very low.
The Biden administration announced a plan on Wednesday to send 5 million rapid tests and 5 million lab-based PCR tests to schools nationwide to help them stay open.
These 10 million additional tests available each month will allow schools to double the volume of testing they were performing in November.
Chicago children returned to classrooms Wednesday after a 5-day standoff between the teachers union and the city over safety protocols.
We want our kids to be safe. We also want our kids in school. Glad that they were able to come to an agreement.
Minnesota's governor is moving $40 million to help state hospitals with staffing shortages. And the U.S. Army is storing cash at its pandemic recruitment problem, offering a maximum bonus of $50,000 to highly skilled soldiers who join for 6 years. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, the CDC says it is updating the information on its website about masks, but it's not changing any recommendation, saying the best mask is the one that you will wear and the one you can keep on all day long. Well, bad news for America's northern neighbor. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has placed Canada in its highest risk category for travel due to increasing COVID cases. The CDC designated Canada as a level 4 Monday. The agency advises people to avoid traveling to countries in that category. According to Johns Hopkins University, last week Canada reported its highest weekly total of COVID cases of the pandemic. Canada joins more than 80 other destinations in that level 4 category. Well, also in Canada, Quebec is planning a tax on the unvaccinated. Lawmakers in the province say people without their shots are putting a financial burden on others. The tax would not apply to those who aren't vaccinated for medical reasons. In Quebec, which has seen the highest number of COVID-related deaths in Canada, 12% of people haven't been vaccinated. Well, coming up here on First at 4, despite some of the toughest lockdown measures in the world, China is seeing multiple large COVID outbreaks less than a month before the Winter Olympics are set to open.
And make sure you didn't pack that rain gear too far away because you may just need it tomorrow. Well, at the very latest on the way.